Nintendo has abandoned Mario Kart World. You didn't get a single mention of it in the Direct, and this was one of the things I was almost certain we were going to get. I thought we were going to get maybe some new tracks, maybe some new modes, maybe just some quality of life improvements, but no, we didn't get a single mention of it. World released with the Switch 2 back in June, and we've literally gotten a few minor updates since then. And some of the issues have just gotten worse, like the intermission tracks have just severely ruined the online play, or I shouldn't say ruined, but they've decrease the quality. And there's some core issues with this game. And the biggest one, and the reason I haven't really picked up Mario Kart World recently, is that it just doesn't feel like you can get much better at the game. It feels like each game is just a crapshoot. Like, I've had games where I'll be in first place for the first half, like I avoid items somehow. Let's say I get an item to avoid it, and I'm able to somehow be in first place for a couple minutes, but then one shell hits me when I have nothing to defend myself, and I'll go from first to whatever place and just get eliminated. Like, yeah, I get that's gonna happen, it's Mario Kart, sometimes luck is a factor, but I just don't feel like it's been like this in other Mario Kart games. I feel like other Mario Kart games with 12 players are just a lot more balanced. At first I thought introducing 24 player races was pretty cool because the maps are just so much bigger. But the issue with online players is just that you're just going to get sandbagged with items if you're towards the front, and there's not really much you can do against it. Like, the strategy is just to sit in the back and just get bullet bills and gold mushrooms. And against AI, the rubber banding is just so bad in this. I know it's existed in previous Mario Karts, but it just seems a lot worse here. Like with other games, like let's say Smash for example, people still play it all these years later because it's on them to get better. Like, if you lose, it was probably your fault. There's probably something you could have done better to win. In Mario Kart World, I mean, it's your fault if you want to actually be good at the game and be towards the front, because then you're just going to get sandbagged. There's really no way to win if you're towards the front for a lot of the game, at least until the end. And I just don't think that's rewarding or satisfying gameplay to need to be towards the back of the pack just so you could sandbag and just use overpowered items that you get through luck. That, I think, is the biggest issue with Mario Kart World. I know there's going to be people who say get good or skill issue. And yeah, it's a skill issue if being skillful is just to sit at the back the whole time and just get items. But even beyond that, there's just not too much to do in this game. One of the things I was really hyped for was the open world, like just being able to explore it. I haven't played the Forza Horizon games in a few years, but I used to really like how there was just so much to do in the world. Like, you'd find other online players there, you'd find races you could do, you'd find different challenges and things. And that's literally all Mario Kart World needed to do. Like, have other players appear online. Like, you could obviously do an offline mode, but have other players appear online, have some way to interact with them, have some races you can do if you maybe run into someone, have some challenges you can do, some more collectibles. And I know there are collectibles in this, but it just doesn't really feel that satisfying to collect since it's all random. And give players more of a reason to explore, because there's not much here to do except, I guess, there's some cool Easter eggs hidden around, but I couldn't really play the open world mode for more than like 20 minutes without getting bored of it. And there's really only a few modes in this. And for an $80 game, I just don't think that cuts it. I think this is a $60 game at best. And I got it, I guess, technically for $50 getting it with the Switch 2. And for that price, it's worth it. But Nintendo's charging $80 for this, so they have to be willing to receive criticism if this game doesn't live up to what an $80 game should be in the eyes of the consumers. But let's go over the modes. So you have the obvious modes like Grand Prix, like that's in every Mario Kart. It's fine here, like it's nothing special. You have the battle mode, which is not one of my favorites. I know a lot of other people have had issues with the battle mode. Just doesn't feel that great to play. Knockout Tour, which is one I want to talk about probably the most because it was something I was really looking forward to, and I actually did have fun with it for a decent amount of time. I've always kind of liked the Battle Royale genre because it's just more rewarding to win when other players are getting eliminated as you have to fight to stay in. But the issues I mentioned before is that I've been in first place so many times with probably another few seconds to finish the race, or not finish the race, finish the lap, and then I just get hit with 3 items and then I go from first to 24th place. My idea for this would be to have a cooldown, like you get hit with 1 item and then you have a cooldown for however much long. And I know that might sound blasphemous to some Mario Kart fans, but when it gets to a point where you're just getting spammed when sandbagged with items, it's just not fun. There's nothing you can do about that. And it's not like it's a rare issue. Like, it happens constantly. Every single one of you who's played Knockout Tours probably had this happen. And I had fun with this mode for like a couple days, maybe a week or so, but I felt like I just couldn't get better at it. Like, I would learn more shortcuts, I'd learn more tricks, I'd learn some strategies, but all the strategies I learned, like I mentioned, were just sit at the back, get your overpowered items, and then just go to the front enough to qualify each time until you get to the end where I guess the final four is really the only true test of skill. Like for a big game like this that has so much potential with its open world, like why not have more modes? One of my ideas was to have a bigger battle royale, like maybe 100 players on the map, or maybe it doesn't have to be 100, but have the battle mode be something like that where you have to go on the map, like have it where there's a shrinking zone and you find items and you use that to attack other players until only one remains. I think that would be a really cool mode for this. It would take advantage of that open world. It would force players to try new areas of the map. Now, something you might ask is, how do you get onto this map? Are you going to jump out of the battle bus or whatever? And I think there's a couple ways Nintendo could go about this if they chose to do something like this. I think probably just spawning players in random places would probably make the most sense for this. But that's one mode that will get people right back in the game. I can't imagine it's too difficult to add, especially utilizing the Switch 2's power. Like, it doesn't necessarily even need 100 players, it could have less, but this would get people into the game. I know it's only been a few months since the game came out. It seems like a lot longer. I believe the last update we got was around a month ago, and all it did was fix an issue where if the player chose Race Against Ghost or View Replay right after downloading Ghost Data and View Rankings and Time Trials, Ghost that was different from the one was downloaded would play. I think that was maybe the full patch note, and that's like that's the big update that came out a month ago. It's like Nintendo has just given up on this game and is just waiting for Kirby Air Riders, like not adding back in tournaments, not adding in any type of ranking system. Like, it doesn't even need to be something like that complex. Like, you can do something like your score in Smash, like the GSP. Like, it's just such simple things like this that they could add that would get people back in the game, yet they just completely ignore it. I can't imagine that these updates would take that long to add, or it's something that they just never even considered. But it just truly seems like Nintendo has just abandoned this and is waiting for Kirby Air Riders. And I know it sounds like I hate this game. I really don't. I do enjoy it as a Mario Kart game, like playing with friends, but it's just not one of those games that I'm going to play more than every so often. Like if I have some friends over and they want to play Mario Kart. Like Mario Kart 8, I would play it all the time because it felt a lot more satisfying to play online. It felt like I could actually get a lot better than how I was playing, and it just doesn't feel that way in Mario Kart World. Like simple issues like nerfing sandbagging and trying to find some way to reward players who are towards the front of the race, like instead of just rewarding players who are towards the back of the pack. That's something that gets people back into the game. And again, I do need to talk about that this game is $80. And before someone comments saying it's actually $50 if you get it with the bundle, well, if you didn't get it with the bundle, it's an $80 game, and I want someone to tell me how this justifies that price tag. Both Mario Kart 8 and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe were $60 games, so can someone tell me how Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is worth $20 more than this? Like, the core gameplay, or not the core gameplay I should say, but the actual mechanics of the game are perfectly fine. It plays like a Mario Kart game, it looks nice. The racing itself is satisfying, but not the actual elements of it, like I've said so many times throughout this video, like just the chaos. But the game itself here has a lot of potential to be good, and if Nintendo just doesn't abandon this game, it could just completely save its legacy. For some reason, when it comes to online games, Nintendo has always been kind of weird about improving them. Like, there's been so many obvious updates that Nintendo can make, and a lot of times they just don't make them. It's like they just release a game and say, okay, we're not going to make anything more than just minor changes. Like, yeah, there'll be some balancing things, like in Smash, that always happens. But it feels like it just takes so much for Nintendo to actually listen to any feedback when it comes to these games. I've been a big Mario Kart fan my entire life, and I really wanted to get more into Mario Kart World, but I just really couldn't. Like, I've never played a Mario Kart game less than World after first getting it. Like, on my DS, I don't even know how many hours I put in Mario Kart DS. Mario Kart Wii, I'd play constantly. I'd play it at friends' house all the time. Mario Kart 7, I didn't play as much, but I would still play against friends. Like, if I was hanging out, sometimes we'd play Mario Kart 7. Mario Kart 8, I probably played that more than any other game except Smash or maybe Mario Maker on my Wii U. But Mario Kart World, I don't know if I have more than 10 or 15 hours in it. I just really couldn't find any more things to do in the game, if that makes sense. Like, I don't care about unlocking every costume because it's not done in a way where it feels like rewarding to get the costumes. Anyway, that's just my rant about Mario Kart World and how I was just kind of frustrated that we didn't get any update for it in the Direct, like I think a lot of us were expecting. And this is all just my opinions on the game. If you disagree, you're entitled to that. I also think that I'm probably in the majority here, thinking that this game definitely needs a lot of updates to get it to its true potential. I know there's probably some people who are blindly defending Nintendo who will justify anything they do and say how the game's already perfect. And they're entitled to their opinion. I think most of us would disagree. But I want to know in the comments what you think Nintendo should do to fix this game. And if you think Nintendo has abandoned this, or if you think they are working on something, but it's just going to take longer. If you did enjoy this video and want to see some of my other takes on other Nintendo games and me covering other Nintendo news, be sure to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. This has been Domain with Game Domain. Thank you for watching.